Well, that's the joke, right? Is that they just have one sock that they fucking fill with cum.
So you're coming up with a plan to not be poisoned.
Oh, this is a dangerous situation. How can I approach this? Whenever we got the McRib, I thought it was gonna crawl away sometimes. Well, right now we're doing this. Mario Kart.
It feels wrong sitting in this spot, though.
Well, like
I don't think I've ever done that.
We have like a dozen chairs in this house, both of which aren't ours.
Yeah, they've just been here.
I mean, I guess they kind of are mine now because I was the one that inherited them after the other.
Do you think they're just gonna come back one day for them?
I guess if they came back and they wanted them, I'd be like, sure, they are yours. I would just be confused at why they were gone for so long. Like, because Joey, every once in a while, he's like, hey, I forgot my thing there. Can you give it to me? And
Yeah,
I'm like, sure.
Which
like,
one came back for their jacket?
That was Joey.
Huh.
The one who's in.
He, like, bled in the middle of the night, didn't he?
Kinda. I don't think he was...
Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he was paying his rent.
Okay.
They don't know which Joey. They just know his first name is Joey, and they lives in. His last name is. Cut that out.
That reveals a lot because of the context of. We're just gonna.
But future Luke,
voice over this.
Leap the name. This is something we come back and play every once in a while.
We play. We have like the fucking deepest box of our life when we play this game. It just gets the creative juices flowing.
Watch, we're not gonna say shit interesting now since we said that.
It's gonna be like the most like mind-numbing, stupid shit.
Oh shit, we're going. Thank you, the boost. Hi. When you're talking about how 50% of Laying Around Battlegrounds has body pillows, because Zach got me one and then I got Zach one. For your birthday, I was thinking about getting you a Rosalina body pillow. And the reason I didn't was because by the time I thought of that idea, it wouldn't arrive in time.
Oh.
But I feel like I should get you one anyway.
Even I don't.
Yes, please.
I don't know. I don't think that's such a good
Wink, wink.
idea. Lord,
Keep it inside.
I'm sorry. What?
You said you're coming. I said keep it in the sock.
Keep it in the sock.
I can't remember what the context was, but I feel like I've had somebody genuinely ask me, have you jacked off into a sock before? And I was like, no. And I don't remember why the question came up.
You jacked off into a like ever in the past, or is like are they asking is that your preference?
I guess either one. I think they just want to know if it had happened. And it hasn't.
That's like a trope in movies, though, right? People don't actually.
Yeah, it's like a joke. Like that's the place they store their cum.
they store it with the intent of like fucking like they want to keep it.
Well, there's that joke of like the old dirty gym sock in a teen boy's room. It's like don't touch it because it's full of cum. But I don't understand the joke because like oh yeah, it's funny because it's gross, but like why would you not just wash the sock if that was what you did? If that was like what you wiped yourself with?
They wiped themselves with it too.
No, I'm saying like when they're done jacking off and they fucking clean up their cum. If they use a sock, which is already a strange choice, why wouldn't they just wash the sock then? Why would they keep filling it up? What's the point?
The same one?
Well, that's the joke, right? Is that they just have one sock that they fucking fill with cum. Isn't that the joke?
I have no idea. First of all, what the fuck are you talking about?
What do you mean you haven't heard this before?
I have, but this is so specific. Oh my god. No.
Oh, you got shrunk. You got shrunk like a dick after jacking off into a sock.
Oh, cum socks.
But isn't that the joke? That they have one sock that they filled with cum, like a teen boy.
I think it's just
they
like,
had the dirty room. It's like, oh, don't touch my gym sock, Mom.
Have you seen the Key and Peele like MC Mom video?
MC? No.
So it's
I haven't
like
seen much of this stuff.
She keeps it Peel keeps going back to the joke that he's an 80s mom and he's doing a rap about it, and then he keeps referencing the fucking hard socks in his in her teenage boy's room.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like crispy sock with some mystery hair. Crispy sock here and a crispy sock there. Crispy socks everywhere. And then like the next verse is something about that again.
Oh.
Like it's.
Oh no, my battery. I'm a fucking.
Your battery died?
Shit. Well, it's about to die. I need to get.
Oh god.
Oh.
Oh god.
We can't lose this.
Hurry. Not the cum sock.
No, not the cum sock joke.
I like how the
Go.
low battery alert is like something in. Wait. That didn't stop it, did it?
Okay, it's good. Okay, I think we're safe. Anyway, cum socks. You're talking about Key and Peele. Oopsie.
So the MC Mom video. Like they I'm not gonna explain it anymore because like obviously it's gonna make it only funnier, but just check it out.
To me or to the audience?
To
both.
Yeah, both.
Oh. Ooh! Come on, girl.
Oh!
Oh, that was close. I was right behind you. That was a good race.
Yeah. I'm doing fucking way better than I normally do.
We're at first and second right now.
I'm not gonna acknowledge that too much. I don't want to jinx it.
Well, that station is very drift heavy. And you'll find out more about the
No,
joke.
my God. I wish I would have been more adamant about that during our recording session. It's like, don't talk about the channel like it doesn't exist yet, or never will exist, because then all of the content is going to
be us talking about how
like it's gonna happen.
When everything actually comes out, it's gonna be just us saying they'll never come out. But
So
it's true. We're like,
when we resume in the spring, we have to talk about it as if it's already a thing, which it will be. So don't.
well, Zach made the declaration that since we've spent so long, like not getting stuff up, that by the end of this spring semester,
We have a cutting
we're just
floor.
gonna put out whatever we have. Even if we're missing episodes, like haven't been edited, we've spent too long on it. We're just gonna put out what we have and then continue from there.
I don't find this level fun. I find it annoying.
I find sometimes I'll get into a rhythm and like know where everything is, and it's like, ooh, I'm doing good, and then it feels awesome,
And then one mistake,
and I'm off.
you only get one shot.
Do not miss a chance below, because opportunity comes once in the lifetime. And I got first. I only got first because I got a star and then a bullet bill. There was no skill involved. No way! That didn't pick you back up? I feel like that should bring you back on the track.
It doesn't always. If you have to make like a 180-degree turn,
Oh. It's like, what, 9 right now?
getting around it
How long is Road King open?
till like 11.
I hope so. I hope it's not 10.
For their sake.
So they're gonna be making us some sandwiches.
They're gonna be. Some occurrence of events will happen that causes them ultimately, through your action, that Burger King will open regardless.
Minimum 1 employee. You don't need more than 1 employee to make a sandwich.
Did McDonald's?
I mean, there were times in like the night shift at McDonald's where people called off and like already few people were scheduled because they didn't have a lot of night shifters.
Would they like fire you for calling off?
If you call off too many times, yes.
How many times would it take?
It's situational because like night shift, there's already very few people who would work night shift. There's like fucking 5 or 6 people in total that will have the availability to work night shift.
Night
So
arguably is when it's the busiest.
yeah, at that McDonald's, it will get fucking busy at like midnight. But you know, if 3 or 4 people get scheduled and 1 or 2 call off, there could be just 1 or 2 people working the whole night.
Right.
And there were times when it would just be one person for a couple hours before somebody else got scheduled, because somebody called off, and they would have to take the order, pay out the order, make the food, serve the food, and then move to the next order.
That sounds way less than pleasant.
I can't imagine doing literally everything in the store is fun. Because you're doing every position on your own.
I don't think I would. I don't think I can ever bring myself to. I thought like working till like 10 at night when I worked in fast food was rough. But now, like, I can't imagine ever even going back to fast food, let alone like, you know, being the only person there. Because I only had like 6 people at any given time, but it was like a way smaller customer.
It was like less people coming in.
Yeah, because it'd only be like, you know, during the busy season, like in the summertime, only be till like, you know, 9:30 to 10 at night. And I mean, it doesn't take much. You like have a pre-made pizza base, put tomato sauce on it, and then whatever, you know, 4 items they want,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like wait 3 minutes to 4 minutes for that to clear through the oven.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Like, you don't have to do anything else. You have to cut it, but like, who doesn't know how to cut a pizza?
But at McDonald's, it's not like anything was too hard to make. Like, you know, some items go on a sandwich, but they only take a couple seconds to put it on.
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal. But there were so many more orders in that restaurant than, you know, like a pizza place would have. Every order would have like anywhere between 2 and 15 items.
2 and 15?
We've gotten more.
I've been guilty of like frequenting McDonald's in the past, but I never get like, I get like maybe like a meal and then a side.
Dude, there were some hungry families in Fenton.
Yeah, sure, families.
I used to have some photos on my phone of just like crazy ass orders on like that we would get.
Just like take a picture of them and be like,
yeah, be like, this is the shit we have to make when I show it to people. I think I might have one. I'll show it to you after this race of like one from this last summer of like 40 cheeseburgers or something.
40?
That might be wrong. God damn it.
Do you ever pre-make stuff just like on the hope that somebody will buy it?
Well, yes, that is something we do. Yeah, I'm about to give some people at home
Insider secrets.
some secrets of the trade of McDonald's. What we do, the process of making like a cheeseburger, a regular cheeseburger, not a quarter pounder. Quarter pounder is always made fresh. For a regular cheeseburger, we take some frozen meat discs out of a freezer. We put them on a grill that, on its own, will kind of cook the things. All we have to do is put them on it's more like a griddle, you know, just like a flat piece of metal that heats up.
But you press it on both sides, right?
But, well, here's the thing. There's a top part of the grill as well, the griddle. It just comes down and presses it for a certain amount of time.
I can't believe that doesn't, like, explode the meat. How long does it take to cook?
If I remember correctly, like 30 to 40 seconds.
That's insane. Like it goes from being completely frozen to fully cooked in 30 seconds.
Yeah, about that.
How does it not, like, explode?
I don't know. So we take typically 8 of those, put them on one section of that grill, hit the button, it presses it down, cooks it for this designated amount of time. Then we take those out, put them in like a elongated tray, and then put that tray into a little cabinet kind of thing that keeps it warm. And then we use those over time as people order. And there's a certain threshold where they've been sitting for too long, and then we have to throw them out. So we have to like kind of.
This seems like a huge source of like a lot of loss, because like obviously you're not going to like throw away a whole tray, but you have a limited amount. So like, what happens if you literally run out of food? To me, that seems like a real possibility.
We've never, in my experience, I've never run out of like regular burger meat, just like the small beef patties. But I have run out of quarter pounder meat. I have run out of some buns, not the regular like plain buns for regular hamburgers, but quarter pounder buns, Big Mac buns, chicken sandwich buns. Those things, since we keep less of them because we sell less of them.
Right.
If there's like a sale going on and we didn't order extra, like order more to get shipped to us, then we might run out. When we were doing the Travis Scott burgers, that fucking first week, dude, we were running out of quarter pounder and running out of quarter pounder buns.
Is that what they're made of?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the Travis Scott was a quarter pounder with like lettuce and I think no pickles, and then it came with a fry, barbecue sauce, maybe, and a Sprite definitely. But because it was the new thing and everybody wanted to try it, we're cooking a lot of quarter pounders.
Sure.
We keep less quarter pounders because we usually don't sell that much, and people are going through them fast. And since we cook them fresh, it was taking a long time to get them out because if you put a couple quarter pounders down on the grill and have them cook for a minute and a half because they cook longer, they're thicker, and then you use up all the grills, then you get 5 more quarter pounders and you're just waiting. So that was really frustrating. And then if everybody's ordering a lot of that shit, then we run out of things.
30-second intervals of like burger meat going from below 0 temperatures to, because that's what it's got to be for frost to accumulate on it, to like a fully cooked, not raw, like hamburger.
Hamburger.
That place must kind of fucking stink. Like,
it's always got the smell.
I'm just noting.
When it's always got the smell of meat.
Is that pleasant?
It's McDonald's meat, so it's it's like mediocre quality beef. If you're hungry, it might be pleasant, but if you've been in there for years, and that's all you smell all day, and that's what you smell like when you go home because it's gotten into your skin, then no. In Kalamazoo, in the one here,
yeah,
that everything about that one sucked. But in Fenton, that McDonald's I love, and I if I didn't have plans for a happy future, I would stay there.
That seems like your future would be really short through your own doing if you didn't have plans outside of McDonald's.
I wouldn't live long for one reason or another. I consider starting like packed lunches, like school lunches for myself, just to have something else to eat.
That was a delayed reaction, but you meant at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like
like just have anything else to eat other than a burger again.
I'm sorry.
Like, they really gave you that, man? I didn't think that was that funny.
You're just like fucking desperate. So you're coming up with a plan to not be poisoned. It's really that bad.
If you're eating the same shit every day, the same, like, half-ass food.
But, like, shouldn't you know on day one? It's just like... So that's out of desperation. Then you're like, okay, I can either eat this again, eat nothing,
Bring anything else.
or bring something as an alternative.
Imagine eating almost the same thing every day, because like even your favorite sandwich that you kind of like personalize to yourself, it's gonna get boring after a while.
It's just like
you gotta find specific shit. If you're not gonna bring your own food,
it fascinates me as you see it as like boring and not like volatile after a while. Like wouldn't your palate in your tongue eventually begin to realize like, oh my god,
this is repulsive.
This is like. I wouldn't feed this to prisoners.
Like crawls away. Dude, whenever we got the McRib, I thought it was gonna crawl away sometimes. If you worked at McDonald's when we sold the McRib, Dude, I don't even know how people fucking ordered that shit. So open that thing up. Nick's tucking a napkin into his and like getting ready for dinner.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to clown up on.
Did you ever have the McRib?
No.
Good. You're alive.
I've just seen like it's so hyped up though. Like
I don't get how it's so hyped up because it's fucking disgusting. I think I've had the McRib once or twice. I think the second thing was like the second time we got it back in for a season, and I was like, maybe I'll like it now. And it was as disgusting as the first time I ate it. And you know me. You know me. I will eat almost anything you put in front of me.
he does some really bizarre stuff with food.
Whether for a joke or whether it's something that I actually enjoy. Like, there's some really weird things I'll like. But that fucking McRib, the first time I was eating it, I was like, I can't finish this. And that's very surprising for me.
That's saying something.
And there's people that love that thing!
How can you have gone through the full process of like preparing that and then be willing to try it? Like were you disgusted? Did you make one before you had one?
Yes. It's the process of making one and eating one are equally repulsive for me.
Are they real ribs?
What, like the bumps in them?
Are you legally allowed to say?
I don't work there anymore, so I don't give a shit. Those bumps, when we pulled it out of the freezer, like a McRib thing, it's a rectangle with rectangular bumps on it. The bumps become round because they cook, but it's just
rectangular. Like how much of an edge? Like an actual like polygon?
You could cut yourself on it.
God.
It's just out of a press. It's it's basically processed pulled pork that got frozen, like mixed together and frozen, and then shaped into that. And when I say pulled pork, I don't mean like shit you get at a restaurant. Delicious, beautiful looking.
Like you can make a sandwich with it.
It's basically the equivalent of the ribs equivalent of hot dog meat. Do you want me to tell you the process of making, like the same way I told you the process of making the burger, what goes through to make a McRib?
Yeah.
So, similar kind of thing, take it out of the freezer, slam that chunk on the grill, hit the button.
To which I still don't understand how. Have you ever put ice on a hot pan?
It goes.
Well,
goes
if
crazy.
there's oil in it, then the oil can catch on fire. I don't understand, because it's an exothermic reaction. I don't understand how it doesn't at least occupy space rapidly and expand.
Well, it definitely sizzles a lot at first, but it doesn't blow up. No.
You don't get cut in half by the steam blowing out.
Well, anyway, it cooks, and then we do the thing where we put in a tray because there's only a few select people that buy McRib.
Sure.
So we definitely need to keep those as long as we can until they get fucking stale. But the tray is full of something else we have to make. The sauce. So the sauce, we don't actually make it, but we have to prepare it a certain way. The sauce comes out of the fridge, and we have to pour it into this pitcher and put it in. I would call it a microwave, but it's like a super microwave. We call it the queuing ovens. The small. I don't know if they're ovens or if they're microwaves, but they're just this small little oven. You pop things in it and it heats things up quick. Hi, Luke. So with that sauce, we have to pour it into a pitcher and pop it in the queuing oven. To blast it with heat for a little bit. Then we take it out and mix it around to make sure it's heating evenly, and also to make sure it doesn't crust at the top from the heat. Then we put it back in, kind of repeat the process another time, and then we pour it into the tray, and then the meat with quotation marks just kind of sits in that.
Well, there's no. I don't think there's any dispute. That it's meat.
Sure.
Yes.
But then the the ribs, the McRib, just soaks in that until somebody orders one, and then we have to like slap it around to make sure it's covered, and then plop in a bun with some pickles and
So they're
onions.
not even truly ribs.
No, it's just some kind of pork meat that is shaped in ribs.
God.
And that sauce, dude, when it comes out of those queuing ovens, the smell could burn your eyebrows off. Before I actually made any of this stuff, and it was like my first year at McDonald's, and it was coming back in season. The McRib was, and
right.
I was like getting told how to make it. I was getting told stories of how repulsive the sauce was to make and to pop out of the queuing oven, and like the smell was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever know Tyrone? Tyrone is a really cool dude. I haven't seen him in a while because he moved somewhere else, or like started working somewhere else.
Okay.
But awesome guy. I loved having him at McDonald's when he was there. I got told a story of him making the McRib sauce, and he didn't know what he was getting into. So when he pulled it out of the queuing oven for the first time, and he smelled it, like it felt like a wave of just fumes coming at him, and it like he dropped it and just fucking ran away because it was like just so repulsive. And I'm crazy, so when I'm cuckoo, I'm nuts. You cannot comprehend my twisted mind.
We'll call it that.
When I first made it, I was like, okay, I gotta take like a full whiff of this stuff, like stick my nose right to it and breathe in as much as I can. And it wasn't like, burn your eyebrows off, but it definitely did burn my nose. Like it hurt physically.
It physically hurt.
It physically hurt to smell.
This reminds me of that. Did I tell you about the anchovies with pizza?
I think so. It's been a while.
That shit is. I've only had to endure it like maybe twice, but we literally only ever kept one box of them in the entire time, like 2 years that I worked at blankety blank. Encinos.
You can say the name.
See,
I'm talking shit about McDonald's. I don't care.
They're a smaller chain. They can find me. They have resources. The anchovies are like just basically like barely dead. Like the entire fish.
Yeah.
Like soaking in oil. Like they're basically mummified. And
same kind of thing you get out of a can, right?
yeah, it's literally just a can.
Full fish and oil.
Yeah, that's the only time I put gloves on top of my gloves.
Just to make sure nothing seeps through.
Yeah, because the oil like emulsifies because it's like half frozen, so it's like a rock solid like sticky stick. It's a fish.
Like a sludge.
And it is putrid to the point that like you can smell it in the corner where they are in the deep freeze. And the first time I had to break off the off yellow ice that was just oil that was like floating out of the can. I was like fighting the urge physically to not like vomit the first time.
Jeez.
I had to do it. They're really rough. And it's not because I like fish anyway. Like
yeah, me too.
Just the anchovies, and I probably would eat anchovies. I wouldn't. I mean, some people prefer them. I'm not one to judge, but in the case of these particular anchovies, having to prepare them, it's sickening because it's like doing CSI work.
I just can't understand how people can like that McRib. I don't get it.
That McRib.
Doesn't make sense.
Does that distance you from it?
Anything to get me further away from the mouth. I hate that I know this much about it.
It's a burden.
Weighs on my mind.
How long is this video? How long has this video been going on?
It doesn't matter.
We'll just keep going, I guess. But this
the
McRib.
This ain't for the viewers. This is for us. For some reason, this is the one that gets like 5,000 views.
Fucking clocking in, you get an email from YouTube.
Hey, you're eligible for monetization. What? I haven't checked my YouTube studio in a while, so I don't know how many views it's gotten.
The McRib story. And I'm not passing judgment on people who like them. like I can see how under the right circumstances and like you know if you try them and they're a delicacy to some people. It's probably the same thing with the rib. I'm not passing judgment on people who like the rib.
I'll pass as much judgment as I fucking want on people who like that McRib. Actually, you know what? No. If you like the McRib, fine. I'm not gonna be too on you about that. But if you love the McRib, if that's the thing that you like waiting every year for the McRib to come back at McDonald's, so you can order one every day for your lunch break.
Backed by popular demand.
Don't talk to me. Don't subscribe. Don't watch my videos. Don't like it or dislike it. Just get away from me, and I don't want to see you again. I don't want to know of your presence on this earth. Because we had people who would come in when we had the McRib, and they would come in every day and get it. Like they wouldn't be our regulars, but they'd become regulars for the McRib.
I got a burn on my arm from a grinder tray.
A grinder tray? What's that?
You see this on my arm?
Yeah.
That's the edge of a grinder tray. I was distracted momentarily, and I was like not looking at it while I was holding it.
Well, what is a grinder tray? I don't know what that is. I haven't been to pizza biz.
Do you know what a grinder is from Mancino's?
No.
A grinder, which is unrelated to the Urban Dictionary definition.
Or the app.
Exactly. Is a sandwich, which is like 16 feet long. And it like comes in a variety of different flavors.
You can just get a giant sandwich?
Yeah, it's like 16 to 12 feet long.
Really?
You could get a half of one that's like
6 to 8 feet?
Yeah.
16 to 12 feet long. Somewhere in that range. Inches, you mean? You said feet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I was like, whoa! How do you fit those in the store?
You have like a spatula in one hand that works as both a blade and to be able to pick things up that are hot, and a clamp that you can like grip a hot tray with, or like a hot pizza pan, so that it doesn't burn you with like an oven mitt that you have less dexterity over. And so, you know, because you're using a lot of like metal tools, I had it like turned in my hand, and obviously the leverage is not on my side, so it like leaned into my arm as I was holding it and seared into my wrist, hence this vein-looking structure. And long story short, yeah, no, I have that.
I don't know if I got any bad burns like that. I've got some dots from grease on this arm here. You see all those?
Spackles. Those aren't birthmarks.
No.
Those are. It looks like
Mick marks.
It looks like birdshot.
You can see the discoloration, like the lightness.
Yeah, like that split right there.
That's a burn.
See it. That one there? Is that a birthmark or is that a burn?
That's a burn. This is a burn.
Okay, yeah, you got dinged up pretty good. Because I only have the one.
Well, I had smaller but more frequent ones.
It's ironic that
that's a burn. That's one. That's one.
Accumulatively, that's way worse than mine, though.
And this one.
Like, it's just, it's ironic to me that the only scars that aren't covered up by my beard on my body is next to the only birthmark I have. Right here.
How about that? Wait, we have different controllers. How do we switch controllers? Oh, when you chose yours, you probably
I forgot to hand mine back.
Oops. See, I'm trying to think of other scars I got. Because I definitely have the most scars from fucking McDonald's. With all those... Like, most of those are... Let's see. There's probably some from my hands, too. So there's the burns I got on the grill, burns I got from, like, grease splattering, oil splattering from the fryers.
Do you ever get, like, a terrible injury in life?
No terrible injuries. I've never broken a bone or got that deep of a cut.
Okay.
Let's see, I have a scar on my thigh. That's got kind of a funny story. So, there's this little pocket knife that was my brother's. He probably still has it. Every once in a while, I would just steal it and keep it because I like the knife, and I thought he wouldn't notice.
But you'd give it back?
No, he didn't realize like he didn't have it, and then know I took it because I always
just like
did.
willingly steal it, like hoping that he would forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. He had a bigger pocket knife.
How old were you?
Like fucking 14 or 15. One time I think I sharpened it because I had like a knife sharpener.
Yeah.
And it was kind of dull, so I sharpened it, and it didn't have like, I don't know what it's called, but you know how some knife sharpeners have like the second thing that smooths it out so it's not so jagged.
Yeah, it's like the finer grit.
Yeah. It didn't have that, so it was kind of had some parts that stuck out a little bit, just because it wasn't perfect. And I was like, oh, I wonder how sharp this is. And I just ran it across. I didn't push that hard. I just ran it across my thigh with my jeans on, thinking like, oh, it might like cut the jeans up a little bit, like cut a few strands. And I didn't even notice at first because it cut through my jeans, and I was like, oh, weird, it cut all the way through my jeans. But then I pulled my jeans back, and I had like that deep of a cut into my leg.
It's been like razor sharp.
It was fucking sharp. I tested on my finger. I was like, what? Maybe I'll show you later. But the scar on my leg is like, it's probably that long, that wide. I probably should have gotten stitches, but
is it opened?
Yeah, I put some band-aids on it for when it bled, and I didn't get stitches or anything. I didn't tell my parents. I was like, I'll just keep this to myself.
What happened to your jeans?
They just had a cut in them.
You still have them, or?
I don't think I have those, no. Or if I do, it's probably like a bigger hole by now, because that was a couple years ago.
Gotcha. It reminds me of a time, I can remember kindergarten somewhat vividly, but only probably the noteworthy times in it.
Yeah.
I actually might have told you this story before, but I used to just get distracted easily as a kid, like most kids. And I was like titillated by the idea of like ripped jeans is a cool style. I don't know how I got that in my head.
In kindergarten?
In kindergarten. Huh. And so I had one that was just like on my pants, probably from like kneeling on one knee and just slowly wearing. But I would be like slowly tearing the hole bigger.
She's like, oh yeah, hell yeah.
During class time, ooh, like bigger must be cooler.
Yeah.
And eventually I tore the entire side like open to my jeans, so it was like you can see like my underwear, because it was like I was wearing like a Roman skirt, and I just kept making it bigger until my kindergarten teacher heard the jeans ripping and stopped me from like tearing my pants off. And eventually took me in private.
No, you're not stripping.
Took a stapler.
Stapler?
Stapled up my jeans. I was at an age in my own life where I didn't really come to terms with like what it was like to like make a scene or like embarrass yourself. So I didn't feel any embarrassment. I was just like, I would continue to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It like while I was young, like while I was like in kindergarten and like years down the road, I would become increasingly more like street smart and like don't make a scene.
Yeah.
Until 4th grade, and I did another stupid.
What was the stupid in 4th grade?
That was the only time I ever broke a bone.
Oh. In school?
And there was like maybe like a 12 to 13 foot, probably closer to 12 foot like rock wall.
Chopped off it.
Yeah, I saw an older kid do it, and he rolled, and I spent the rest of the recess time that we had like hyping myself up to do it, and then at the last minute, I finally took the jump, but forgot to roll because I was so
just landed on your feet.
Yeah, and then I fucking shattered my like the bone underneath my heel.
Oh, I did something like that when I was in elementary school. It was just like a wooden structure, not super tall, probably like fucking 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And a couple of my friends were jumping off of it, and like, because we just like run around doing, I guess, parkour, or the 3rd grade equivalent of that. But yeah, they were just jumping off this one like 8 foot tall structure, and I was like, okay, here we go. And I hopped off of it, and I landed on my ankles. Not on my ankles, but I just landed the wrong way with my feet.
Forgot
and
to roll.
Well, it wasn't that tall, and they weren't rolling, so I was like, I don't need to roll. You know, it's not that high, I'm just gonna jump.
It's only 8 feet. It's only 3 times my entire height.
I don't think I was 2.5 feet tall, or whatever. But I'm sure. It was probably like double my height. But yeah, they were just jumping off it and they ran after it. I was like, okay, so it must not be that bad. So I jumped off of it, and I was the only one that landed weird and hurt my ankles. To the point where like, I don't know if I maybe sprained my ankle in a minor way, or what, but I couldn't walk very well for the rest of the day. It got better over like a couple days. But like I jumped and they were already ahead of me, so they were running into the next like structure.
Like just moving on.
And since I was the last one in the group, I just landed and I was like, oh god.
You became the limp.
But when they noticed I wasn't behind them, they came back and like helped me up and try to like see if I could walk and like.
You okay, bro?
Put my like hand. Put my arms over their shoulders so they could help me get around. And,
like a wounded soldier?
Basically, yeah. And there's a point where I was like, okay, I think I can walk now. And they're like, okay, you can run? Cool, let's keep going. I was like, no, I didn't say run! But they're already on their way.
It's so funny to like not realize how underdeveloped your brain is as a child and still think that's the height of information. Like you could possibly know, like, what else could I possibly know? Like,
oh, I can know not to jump off of an 8 feet tall thing when I'm 4 feet tall.
Yeah, but like, it's all small potatoes from there. I'll be fine in a couple days.
I mean, that's kind of my mentality now still. I'm not the most mature human being when it comes to my own safety.
Maybe not like maturity. You probably have the sense to like, not cross the street when the sign doesn't allow it, but like naivety.
Well, it depends on where I am. How much of a rush I'm in.
Probably fine.
If I can look and see there's no cars coming.
I'm in a hurry. I better walk out into this road where cars and no people are allowed.
Well, I guess the difference between like kid me and now me in terms of assessing a dangerous situation is back then I would just do something and afterwards get hurt and be like, oh shit.
Don't do that again.
But now I'll be like, oh. I'll look ahead and be like, oh, this is a dangerous situation. How can I approach this in the most fun way possible?
Assuming choosing not to do it is not an option.
Yeah, how can I engage this in a way that I probably won't get hurt, but I'll still get the rush of danger? That's my assessment now.
And maybe get hurt.
You'll see me flipping around knives and shit every once in a while.
Yeah.
Or like jumping over something that I shouldn't.
Yeah, a lot of shit gets broken.
Like this couch.
Every now and then I find myself thinking,
why to move in?
No, like, I wish that I didn't have the foresight to be able to have that kind of fun. If I body slammed the couch, I'd probably break it worse and feel accountable, and then it wouldn't be functional. It's just
because you don't weigh 165 pounds like tiny me.
I weigh 240.
I'm a little baby boy.
Probably increasing with just like laying on my ass and ordering pizza.
Bye.
We love you.
I love you so fucking much. I couldn't do anything without you. It's like rubbing the... Anyway.